hang on to your seat, baby, cause this one's a screamer.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
Bumper car, we bump into each other. We have love for one another. He's a bumper car. He do it for his brother. We love one another. He's a bumper car. Kenzie wants to get like a bumper car. Like a bumper car. He's a bumper car. Let me stop. What is going on, entertainers? Today we talking Love Island episode 7. By the way, what the hell was that, Love Island? You know what I'm saying? Like, they always doing some funny-ish. Like, what the heck was that song? We are the bigger. Like, that was so unnecessary. Like, and it was so childish too. Like, the whole song playing like that. So the episode opens up with the introduction of Saul and Jen. So, of course, the girl bombshells go with the boys, and the boy bombshell, Caleb, goes with the girls. So Saul and Jen introduce themselves to the boys, and she reveals that she does know Bryce, and they even shot together. I done told y'all, SoFlo is very small. Everybody know each other. Everybody knows each other, okay? And Saul introduces herself as she says she's a bar. She works, I think, at a bar. She says she works as a gym receptionist. She does a few amount of things or whatever. I've told y'all this season they really cast the regular folk. Okay, they really cast the regular folk. Now Caleb says he's 21. Now he's fairly young compared to the other girls, but it's giving Southern charm on Bravo. If you know, you know. If you know, you know. Okay, he says he's a welder and he lives in Charleston. I said, did you miss the Southern Charm casting call? Because I know they're about to start filming a new season. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Love Island accidentally emailed you and it was supposed to be Bravo. That's what it gave to me. Okay. So we end up seeing Kenzie literally fawning. I'm talking about, like, she's like, ooh, oh my God, country. Ah! Sitting there fawning over this man, and all I'm thinking is like, girl, like, you need to air your hoo-ha down, because it's like you are doing the utmost to get his attention. Like, we see you, girl. We see you right at the corner. Okay, we see you right at the corner. All the girls had to literally bring attention to her because she was doing the most to get his attention. They're like, oh, we have somebody here who's very happy to see you. He's like, well, you know, I could tell. Kenzie's beautiful. You know, she's a darling. You know, I think she looked really good. My name is Lauren, and I'm from Kentucky, and everybody loves me. I ain't chicken. Let me stop. Y'all know I love to do a country accent. That is one of my favorites to do. Y'all know this, okay? So then we end up seeing Anya. She was very pissed at the fact that Casey kept joking about the kissing situation and just the bombshells in general. She was very upset because she was like, she would not play with him like that. So she don't appreciate him playing in her face like that, which I understand, but I do feel like this episode, Anaya showed a lot of insecurity throughout this episode, which kind of disappointed me because, girl, you are bad. You are beautiful, okay? Please do not think you're not enough. And that's what bothers me with Anaya this episode. The girls asked the guys, like the bombshells, they're like, are you guys happy with y'all relationship? Zach immediately was like, yes, I'm happy. Like, I'm not going nowhere. We damn near coupled up, finished, and through or whatever. So some of the other dudes, they didn't react some of the same way. Sincere was like, well, you know, things could happen. You never know what could happen or whatever. Like, I'm just happy that, you feel me, you're here, and, you know, everybody, we could chat. You know, that's what Love Island is about, right? So I'm like, oh. Sincere doesn't seem too happy. We've seen this throughout the whole episode, okay? Beatrice is talking to the girls, and she says she's worried about Jen. Beatrice had me cracking up at this point. She said, I'm not gonna lie, I'm scared to get Gabrielle because I think he likes Jen. Jen got big tatas, blonde. She got that, and she got her leg. She said, I don't got blonde hair, big tatas, and I'm missing a leg. When I tell you I screamed when she said that. I like people that could make fun of their shortcomings. Like, I'm that type of person. I'll make fun of myself before somebody else make fun of me. That's why when people make fun of me, like, it don't hit as much as they think it would. Cause like I'll be the first to key on myself. We all know this, okay? I keyed on my hair. They say I got a hair piece, all that. Like I'm gonna key on myself first. You never gonna be able to gag me with any of my truth. So I love the fact that Beatrice could joke about it. So Beatrice and Bia end up taking the bombshells to like a tour throughout the villa. And Trinity, of course, is sizing up Jen because she's like, oh, how do you know Bryce? Her and Bryce shot together a little bit before the villa too, which is very ironic, Love Island. But the modeling in Miami world is very small, so I'm not surprised. Now, Beatrice says something notably interesting in this part. She says, I don't have a lot of female friends, but I'm making friends here. That told me everything I needed to know. I said, see, there we go. I knew it. Didn't I tell y'all? Bia is not a girl's girl. Beatrice is not a girl's girl. And I could feel it. I could sense the vibe. Okay. Now, Sincere talks to Melanie about how she was acting and basically told her, like, hey, you was tripping. You was acting like a damn cheerleader, hopping up and down, like, ooh, when the bombshells came in. Like, and he was basically saying, like, I did not appreciate that. Like, you were doing entirely too much. And she's like, oh, I could see where you're coming from. But I was just excited that, you know, a guy is here and all that. And I'm like, no, Mel, because had the roles been reversed, even though y'all clocked me, I am toxic. Yes, I can relate to Mel in many ways. If the roles were reversed, Mel, you would not be happy with him. So don't be a hypocrite. So Casey ends up pulling a knife for a chat and they start talking about the challenge. And she was really upset because he was one of the ones that was covered in red like he was a blood. So that's why she was very concerned about that challenge because she could tell that her and one of the bombshells, Casey, one of the bombshells was like making out for like the longest. Okay. Now, I feel bad for Anaya because besides Trinity, there's nobody in the villa that looks like her. And I think she's sort of feeling a little bit insecure about that because she feels like I'm a little bit on my island on my own and I don't have much choices for myself. Now, Casey has somebody that could be a choice to him, and I'm going to be left in the dirt. Okay. Now, Love Island, y'all so damn dramatic because why when she asks, oh, would you be open to exploring Soul? He said, yeah, they're going to show her crying like, she was not crying when he said that. Like, I watch reality TV, so I know how editing works. They put that in there to make it look as if she was breaking down when he said that. That did not happen like that. Y'all slick and then a mother. So for y'all new people that's watching Love Island, she did not start bawling when he said that about freaking Saul. I wish y'all didn't do that because that made her look a little bit more pathetic. Okay. Once again, Anya, stand up. We want you to stand up, girl. You're beautiful. Okay, you're thick. You have beautiful eyes. You'll be able to get any that wants up in that villa. That's at least into melanin. That's the problem. Some of these dudes in this season, they're not into melanin. Just saying. Okay. Now, Zach ends up talking to Kata and tells her, like, hey, I told the bombshell, like, I'm closed off or whatever. So, you know, Kata's like, you dead? They're, to me, the most solid couple in that villa, if we're going to be honest. Corbin is basically telling the boys he's not really feeling some of the bombshells like that at all and says that he's still feeling Kenzie. And all I'm thinking is, you might be out of luck. I think, Corbin, you finna hit the road. Hit the road, bitch. And don't you come back no more, no more, no more. Like, what's her name said, okay? You are going to be gone because Kenzie is set focus on that cowboy, okay? Save a horse, ride a cowboy. You're not going to be the horse saved. You're going to be the horse gone, all right? Now it's the next day, and Caleb ends up talking to Beatrice, and they start to get to know each other. I don't see this going anywhere. I think Caleb is far too young for Beatrice. Beatrice and Caleb's conversation looked like a mom talking to her son. Like, how was school? Aww. Your English teacher gave you an apple? I know you like the marigold kind. It was kind of like that. Like, they're not going to end up talking or getting any interest. And what blew me was Caleb talking about he know a little Spanish. I'm like, sure. Okay? He knows the type of Spanish that como estás, uno, dos, tres. When somebody say that, they don't know Spanish. You know what I'm saying? Like, I guess. He was trying to just relate to her off of that fact. Okay? Now, Sincere and Anaya end up talking. Y'all, Sincere, you are a snake in the grass. Why did you snitch on KC like that? Sincere go tell Anaya like, oh, KC was basically saying how like, he kind of is attracted to her and like, she reminds him of like one of his exes. So it's like, I don't know where that's gonna go. But don't tell him that. Don't tell him I said that. This the stuff I'll be talking about. Like, why are you snaking the man out like that? Sincere, you are a snake. And if I were KC, I would try to get dirt on you to go back to tell Melanie. Straight up. Okay? Because why you doing me like that? We supposed to be bros. We supposed to be brothers. And you snitching on me like that. So of course KC's like, oh yeah. I mean, Anaya's like, oh yeah. Okay, cool. Sure. She's starting to feel a way about it because she like, wow, like she was already in her head feeling insecure, and now you're letting her know this, and it's not coming out of KC mouth. So of course she's gonna really feel away. So KC ends up telling Melanie, on the other hand, as a good friend, meanwhile, telling her he's tripping, like she's tripping about how she's acting when it comes to Sincere. So you see how the difference is? KC being a good friend to you, Sincere, and Sincere, you are literally throwing him under the bus and you're driving over it. All right. But yeah, KC told Melanie, like, hey, you was acting kind of a plumb fool, bouncing around like a kangaroo. Like, that was a little crazy. Like, you need to chill out. Melanie ends up talking to the boys and basically lets the boys know, like, she's sort of scared. I understand Melanie on this level so bad because for y'all that's been, when you go through certain traumas, I feel like when something so good is presented to you, whether it be in relationships, career, whatever, you sort of like psych yourself out because you've never had it before. So you start to think, is this really real? So that is why she's acting and thinking that way. Trust me, we see each other when it comes to Melanie. I know exactly how she's feeling. I know exactly what she's thinking. She's starting to feel like this is too good to be true. There must be something wrong. So she's sort of self-sabotaging in order to not have that feeling because she's not used to it. Is it right? No. Do I understand it? Yes. And at least she acknowledges that. I feel like people are not giving her enough grace about that. At least she acknowledges the fact that she is a little bit of an F up. She's not denying it. Saul and Sincere end up having a conversation and basically lets her know, like, hey, me and Mel, we're still dealing with each other, but it's like, I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. In my opinion, that conversation was him telling her, like, hey, I'm not trying to be with her for the long haul. I'm going to let her down slowly, but I'm really interested in you. But my whole thing is with Sincere, you should just cut it off to save the headache and the heartache. Because the longer you string the situation along with her, the more it's going to hurt in the long run. When you have to literally make the decision and America's not making the decision for you. So that will save you the headache because Melanie's already a crash out. So she already going to crash out, but you need to, do a preemptive strike so she's not crashing out to the max amount. Now they end up kissing. Y'all, that kiss felt like a scene out of a Korn movie. I said, oh my God. I thought I was watching X. I said, oh. Oh my God. Like, that was hot, okay? Hot. Okay, that was hot. There's shade. That really was. All right? KC ends up talking to Anaya, and basically she lets KC know, like, hey, yo, bro snitched on you. Like, I heard Sincere was basically telling me how, like, she reminds you of your ex, like, Soul reminds you of your ex, and, like, I'm hearing all these things, and it's, like, it's just making me think things. And then KC was like, no. I'm like, yes. Okay? I can't wait to see KC confront Sincere. Because you need to confront that boy. Like, he tried you, no shade. Like, he did. He did. KC ends up giving her words of affirmation. They end up hugging. And he basically reassures her, like, hey, I still like you. Regardless of what may happen, I still F with you. So I hope he sticks to his word and does not let her down because I would hate to see Anaya heartbroken. I feel like she's one of the most genuine people there in that villa. So it's time for the nightcap, and Gabriel ends up talking to oh, by the way, before that happens, the nightcap, right? At one point, Gabriel ends up talking to Soul. Child, Soul wiped her lips after they kissed. I said, oh. I don't know why. Something, no shade for the girls, right? Because it's a lot of the girls follow me and subscribe to me, right? For the gays, Gabriel reeks of poppers and bathhouse. If you know, you know. Gabriel reeks of poppers and bathhouse. I don't know why. That's just the smell I get off of him. I got smell-o-vision. That's what I get off the nigga. Straight up. So I can guess why you wipe your mouth like that, Gabe. So okay, you tasted, past the girls and niggas on his lips, and it just, you feel me? So it's time for the nightcap, and we end up seeing Jen and Gabriel have a chat, and Jen's like, I never dated a Brazilian, but like I had a Brazilian roommate, and like she had like this Brazilian bread. Mm. Yeah, it was that one, like the cheesy bread. It was that one. So they end up kissing, y'all. Gabriel is so aggressive with that kiss. Y'all know what he do. Kisses with no substance. Straight up. Okay. Like damn near tonguing her, choking her down. She says she likes it though. Do I see Jen and Gabriel coupling up? I feel like Jen may want to pick him, but I feel like he's gonna be the type to want to go with Beatrice just off of the loyalty so he don't look bad. Y'all get what I'm saying? So it's going to be interesting to see how that even turns out with America voting. Kenzie talks to Caleb. And y'all, I feel like Kenzie's issue when it comes to relationships, she is the type to fawn over a dude. Why are you fawning over this man as if she treats guys like they're a kid, like they're a newborn baby. You know when you see a newborn baby, you're like, oh, so cute. I was just a kid. Like that. You should not be talking to and treating a grown man like that. Like, she's like, can you say that again? I'm analyzing everything about you. Your hands, your feet. Did you just fart? Oh my God. Like, Kenzie girl, like, it is not that serious. And no shit, he is not that cute. Like, he's just a regular looking white boy to me. But hey, what do I know? No shit. Like, that was not like, you feel me? He wasn't the bee's knees to me. You feel me? Like, Austin to me looked better than any of the white boys so far this season. No shade. He looked better than Bryce to me. He looked better than Caleb to me. And I think there's another one in there. No, Zach is seeing Austin. Never mind. Zach beats out Austin. But yeah, out of those two, Austin wins. Okay. I saw what Shelly saw somewhat. Okay. I'm just saying. But yeah, that's Kenzie's, I feel like, problem. And I feel like it turns off dudes and they probably don't vocalize it to her. But over time, they start to become cringed out by how she's acting over them, fawning over them. Because she did the same thing to Corbin. And she did the same thing to Zach. Not really to Zach, but a little bit to Zach. But a lot to Corbin. And then a lot to Caleb. That's how I feel. So Saul ends up taking Sincere for a chat. And they end up talking. And they ended off with a kiss. Now, this kiss to me was not as near as passionate as the one they had during the day. Now, Mel, you worried about that kiss that you almost walked into. That kiss during the day was like next level. XOF level. F is you talking about. That was nada compared to that. Okay. So Mel ends up walking in at the last hour. Saul ends up walking out and she kind of turned and looks back. Okay. It gave 6-inch heels. She walked in the club like nobody business. Goddamn. It gave a little bit of that, right? She ends up leaving or whatever. And Sincere ends up talking to Mel to the side and basically lets him know, like, hey, I kissed her, right? She's like, well, just do whatever you want that's best for you. And then she ends up walking away. Listen, Melanie, you need to control your emotions. Because if you do not, you are you're going to scare all the boys off because the boys all talk to each other. People don't realize Love Island really is a game because let's say if you rub your couple the wrong way, that couple may tell the other boys, which would turn them off to you. So before you could even get a chance to put dudes to the side for a chat to get them to sort of like you and vibe with you, they're already going to have a premonition about you and have a judgment about you before even really getting to know you like that. So I just feel like she needs to move a little bit smarter than that. And that was pretty much the episode, y'all. Let me know what y'all think down below about this video. And stay tuned for the after show Wednesday night. We'll be live with Kaya and Pretty Young Thing. And we all babies. Bye.
Welcome to